Hi, welcome back to another video. Let's take a look at this acid-base question. Question 7 reads, a solution of carbonic acid has a pH of 4.2 and the following Ka value. A solution of sulfuric acid has the following Ka value. 7.1.1 calculate the concentration of the hydronium ions in the carbonic acid solution. Now for the carbonic acid solution 7.1.1, we've been given the pH of it. And the pH is 4.2. Now there is a formula that we can use to calculate the concentration of the hydronium ions using the pH. So pH is equal to minus log times the concentration, or minus log of the concentration of the hydronium ions. So 4.2 is equal to minus log the concentration of H3O plus. And now if we want the concentration of H3O plus, that's going to equal 10 to the power minus 4.2. And so the answer to this question is going to be 6,31 times 10 to the negative 5 moles per dm cubed. And that is the concentration of H3O plus, or the hydronium ions. Question 7.1.2 reads, how will the strength of the carbonic acid compare to that of sulfuric acid if both acids have a concentration of 0,02? So they want us to compare carbonic acid to sulfuric acid. So 7.1.2, to answer this question, we can use the Ka values. We can see that carbonic acid has a low Ka value. So carbonic acid has a low Ka value, low Ka. And if it has a low Ka, that means it's going to be a weak acid. So the strength of carbonic acid compared to sulfuric acid, carbonic acid will be weaker because it has a lower Ka compared to sulfuric acid. Now let's take a look at question 7.2. Question 7.2 reads, a solution of vinegar can be neutralized with a solution of sodium hydroxide. The reaction takes place according to the following balanced equation. The sodium acetate produced during this reaction can undergo hydrolysis. Now sodium acetate is this. So 7.2.1, define hydrolysis. We will leave that and we'll move on to 7.2.2. Will the pH of the sodium acetate solution be greater than 7 or less than 7? And explain the answer. Okay, so question 7.2.2. If we look at the reaction, we have we have vinegar. So vinegar is a weak acid and sodium hydroxide is a strong base. And if we have a weak acid plus a strong base, then this is going to give us a basic salt plus water. So the solution of sodium acetate will have a pH that is going to be greater than 7, since it's going to be a basic salt. Now, how do we explain this? We explain this by using the process of hydrolysis. How do we do hydrolysis? So 7.2.3. To do hydrolysis, we need to look at the salt. So the salt is CH3COONA. Now we need to break the salt up into its ions. So CH3, COO minus, and Na plus. Next, we evaluate the ions, but in terms of where did they come from. So CH3COO minus came from CH3COOH. This is a weak base. So that means that CH3COO minus is going to be a strong conjugate acid. Now Na came from NaOH. NaOH is a strong base, which means that Na plus is a weak conjugate acid, right? I made a mistake. CH3COOH is a weak acid. That means CH3COO minus is going to be a strong conjugate base. Now, when you are doing hydrolysis, it is going to be the strong ion that undergoes hydrolysis. So the CH3COO minus ion is going to undergo hydrolysis because it is strong. So let me just neaten that up. That is the base here. Yep, base. So this is going to undergo hydrolysis. CH3COO minus plus water is going to give us, now if this is acting as a base, that means the water is acting as an acid. Acids are proton donors, so an H is going to be donated there, resulting in CH3COOH plus OH minus. The presence of OH minus tells us that the solution is going to be basic. All right. Now let's move on. Question 7.3. Question 7.3 reads, an unknown element has a chemical formula Y2CO3. A learner asked to identify element Y. The learner adds 0.5865 grams of the carbonate in a conical flask containing 25 cm cubed hydrochloric acid solution with a concentration of 0.3 moles per dm cubed. The balanced equation is given. The hydrochloric acid is in excess. Question 7.3.1, calculate the initial moles of hydrochloric acid in the conical flask. So 7.3.1, if you look at the information that we're given about the HCl, we've been given the volume of 25 cm cubed, and we've been given the concentration, which is 0.3 moles per dm cubed. Now they want us to calculate the number of moles. So number of moles is equal to C times V. Number of moles is 0.3 times the volume. Remember, 25 cm cubed, we must convert to 25 dm cubed. To dm cubed rather. So 25 divided by 1,000. And that's going to give us an answer of 0.0075 moles of HCl. Now remember, this is the number of moles that's total present. It's the number of moles that's in excess. Now we're moving on. It says once the mixture has stopped fizzing, 15 cm cubed of a 0.1 moles per dm cubed NaOH aqueous is added to the mixture to neutralize any remaining hydrochloric acid. Calculate the amount of hydrochloric acid in moles that reacted with the unknown carbonate. So this HCl that's present at the beginning, some of it is going to react with the carbonate, the unknown carbonate, and then what's left over reacts with NaOH. Now we've been given some information about NaOH, right? We were told that it has a volume of 15 cm cubed and the concentration is 0.1 moles per dm cubed. We can then calculate the number of moles of NaOH. Number of moles is equal to C times V. That's equal to 0.1 times 15 over 1,000. And that gives us 0.0015 moles of NaOH that was used. Now remember, this NaOH neutralized whatever HCl was left. So we can use a reaction to figure out how much HCl was left. So the reaction of NaOH plus HCl is NaOH plus HCl gives us NaCl plus H2O. And that is balanced. So the ratio here is 1 to 1. That means the number of moles of HCl is going to be 0.0015 moles of HCl. And this moles of HCl is the moles of HCl that was left over. So 0.0015. So if we subtract these two values, we can figure out how much was used to react with the carbonate. So the amount that was used to react with the carbonate is 0,0075 minus 0,0015, and that's equal to 0,006 moles that reacted with the carbonate. Now, question 7.3.3 says identify element Y. Okay, so to identify element Y, now it's not so difficult because now we know the number of moles that reacted with the carbonate of the HCl. So the first point would be to calculate the number of moles of the carbonate. Now the ratio for HCl to the carbonate is 2 to 1. So if 0,006 moles of the HCl reacted with the carbonate, that means 0,003 moles of the carbonate were used. Now that we know the number of moles of the carbonate, and we also know the mass of the carbonate, we can calculate the molar mass. So let's calculate the molar mass. So remember, number of moles is equal to mass divided by molar mass. The carbonate had 0,003 moles, and it had a mass of 0,5865 divided by the molar mass. Now we can calculate the molar mass by switching this and this. So we get an answer for molar mass of 195,5 grams per mole. Now we can start subtracting to calculate what Y is. So 2 times Y plus carbon has a mass of 12 plus oxygen has a mass of 16, and there's 3 of them. That's equal to 195,5. Now we solve for Y. Y is equal to 67,75 grams per mole. However, if you look for this value on the periodic table, you're not going to find it. So the closest you can get is zinc. Zinc is an option. Okay, there is an error in the question, so that's why there's no actual option here. So zinc is an option. So how else could we do it? Because sometimes you look at this and you think, okay, maybe you've done something wrong. So another option, and though this is not going to be it's not going to be the most correct answer because we're going to be doing some rounding off, and if we do rounding off, then you'll see that we will get an exact element. Okay, so if we start rounding off from this point right here, and we start rounding to 2 or 3 decimals, then you'll find that we will get an exact value, right? So at the start, let's approach this again. So the number of moles in excess, we said is 0,0075. But if you round this off to 0,01 moles, right? And then the next thing, the number of moles that's used in the NaOH neutralization, we worked it out as 0,0015. So if we keep this as 0,0015, but we subtract this to get the number of moles that reacted with the carbonate. Now, if we subtract this, we'll get let's subtract here. So 0,0015. So 0,01 minus 0,0015, that gives you 0,0085. Now notice, this is 0,0085. When we calculated it, we got 0,006. So it's quite a difference. And that difference will then carry forward. So the number of moles for the carbonate of the HCl that reacted with the carbonate was 0,0085. Then we do the mole ratio. So HCl to the carbonate, 0,0085, and it was 2 to 1. So that means this will be 0,00425. Now, if we calculate we have number of moles is equal to mass divided by molar mass. 0,00425 is equal to 0,5, I think it was 865 divided by molar mass. Then you get the molar mass is now 138. So now the molar mass is 138. When we calculated it, it was 195,5. So now you can calculate y. So 2 times y plus 12 plus 3 into 16 is 138. And now if you solve for y, you get y is 39, and that's now zinc. Potassium. So I would say that this option, let's say the second option, even though it gives you a nice like final answer of zinc, potassium, it's still, I would say it's not as correct as the first one, because the first one we carried more decimals and so it's more correct. So in this paper, actually, they had a few options that the examiners were accepting. One of the options being the element is not even there. So always double check your answer, but also don't doubt yourself. Sometimes it could be a mistake in the exam. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.